Bron Breakker continues to get better every single week on NXT, and now with his contract signed with SmackDown, is he the next big star in the WWE? As well as NXT star Joe Gacy has come back revamped with some crazy antics and a new rivalry to boot. And I'll break it all down for you coming up on this episode of Wrestling Digest. But before we get into it, if you're a big wrestling fan just like all of us here on the channel, make sure down below, hit that subscribe button for your daily dose of wrestling content. We're going to be here every single day breaking down news from all over the wrestling world. So make sure down below and hit that subscribe button so you don't miss anything. But with that said, let's get right into the first topic of the video today, which is Bron Breakker, the next big WWE star. And if you missed NXT last night, he had an amazing match against the Alpha Academy, him and Baron Corbin defending their World NXT Championships. And if you take a look here, this is from Tozawa, who jumped off the top rope looking to crossbody Bron Breakker off of Otis. But Bron Breakker pulled off an amazing move. He caught him, flipped midair, and landed with him on the mat. And then the match ended with, obviously, an amazing spear from Bron Breakker, who may have one of the best spears in the injury right now. The speed he has, the power he gets off of that spear is just phenomenal. He's taking it back to like the Roman Reigns, the Edge, the guys with such great spears, and he's coming in with a great one as well. I mean, you see a guy who can get up to 20 miles per hour in the ring, you know he's going to have some power behind those, and I think this is great for him that he is tagged up here with Baron Corbin, a guy who knows the industry, a guy who's been up in the WWE for some time, and is really kind of taking Bron Breakker under his mentorship and helping him get better. And if we take a look at just how dominant he has been in NXT, we see he's a two-time NXT champion, a one-time tag team champion, current with Baron Corbin, and he also has an NXT UK championship under his belt as well. And he is obviously the nephew of Scott Steiner, and he sat down with Jamal Niaz of the Love of Wrestling, and he was asked if he believed Bron Breakker could become a star at the level of Roman Reigns in WWE. Steiner said there's no doubt in his mind that that's the case, and just take a look at the quote here. He said, there's no doubt he could reach that level. It just takes time. I think he's ready. He just needs some seasoning wrestling against good guys. When you wrestle against good guys, you get better. So I think he's ready. He just needs to make the right moves here and there, and you never know what can happen. And we also do get another quote here from the legendary Jim Cornette, who has talked about Bron Breakker being the next or the new Brock Lesnar, and he said he's 20 years younger and they don't have to worry about the lawsuits or whatever is going to be coming out. He has got the same qualities. He's obviously not going to bother to take the time to go through and compete with the UFC. He's got the same kind of aggression and intensity that Brock has, and the power and the speed that Brock had. 20 years ago, he's a more natural worker. I had Brock at this stage. Bron Breakker he said he had Brock at this stage that Bron Breakker is at right now, or shortly before it, and Bron's been leaps and bounds ahead of Brock was a pro wrestler performer since we first saw him. They said it, and I believe it. He runs the ropes at 23 miles an hour. The ring is 20 feet from edge of the apron to the edge of the apron. So inside the ropes, he's got 18 feet to go 23 miles an hour, Cornette said. And he just says it perfectly here. I mean, you got to believe that he is going to be the next Brock Lesnar, one of these big powerhouse guys who's just going to come in and steamroll the competition, just like Brock Lesnar did when he came in. And I think one thing that Bron Breakker could benefit here from, he is great on the mic. He does do some great promo work. But I think if he comes in maybe as a part of a faction with, a leader at the helm, I think this could really help him out. It kind of reminds me of what happened with Batista when he was with Triple H, Randy Orton, and Ric Flair. I think it's kind of the same comparable here as Batista. Batista, obviously a big powerhouse guy with that Batista bomb and stuff like that. And over the years, he did develop into being a great promo worker, great on the mic. And I think this is what Bron Breakker needs. He needs someone to kind of mentor him through the promos. I think he has been great. He's shown, to be a great promo worker at this point point in his career, but I think if he got even better on the mic, it could push him to the next level because the in-ring experience is already elite for him. The in-ring ability he has is just phenomenal. I mean, you see a guy going 23 miles an hour in the ring, rope to rope. You don't see that every day. And he has that spear that has just been lethal for him as of late. And, you know, he can perform aerial attacks like we seen last night on NXT. So he has everything in his bag of tricks when it comes to the in-ring part of his game. I think it's just getting him in the picture and the mic on the promos to kind of battle against some of the best promo workers in the WWE. Like Logan Paul, he's become a great heel for SmackDown. And I think this is where we may see him take action here is in this US title race once he comes over and finishes time as NXT Tag Team Champion with Baron Corbin. So I think this guy is the future of the WWE. I think he has such great ability in the ring. He has such great ability on the mic. I think if he just had that faction that kind of come over for him to make such a big impact here could really help. And I would love to see, you know, the new Nexus take over here. I've seen some rumors of this circling online. This is heavy rumor mill stuff. This isn't confirmed, anything like this, but a new Nexus coming over from NXT would be really fun to watch. I think you have to have Baron Corbin head in this. He has that experience. He's great on the mic and stuff like this. He could head up a faction here, but we could also just see him come over as a solo competitor like Brock Lesnar did and just dominate, run through guys. Maybe we see Bron Breakker take a manager here like Brock Lesnar did with Paul Heyman. That could be an interesting route to take as well. But I think at first they're going to bring him over as a solo guy, see what he's like on the mic, see what the crowd reacts to him once he's there. The crowd already, WWE fans already love his moveset. They love the stuff he does in the ring. It's just those things where he can battle on the mic against some of the top players in the WWE that is really going to take off for this guy. And like I said, I think this guy is the next big star here in the WWE, and I can't wait to see it. He is up top of one of my favorite wrestlers right now. Just the way he moves in the ring, just his knowledge, his ring sense, his ring IQ is just phenomenal. And I'm really excited to see this guy come over and really, take a hold of the WWE as his own. It'll be really fun to see. But we're going to get into our second topic of the video today, which is Joe Gacy starts a new rivalry. And if we take a look here, this is from last night on NXT as well. This was Shawn Spears went one-on-one with Dijak in a grueling match. Spears took out a steel chair and placed it at ringside during the match. However, while he was distracted with Dijak, Joe Gacy came out from under the ring and took the chair. When Spears turned to grab the chair, it was gone, which seemed to confuse him. In the end, Dijak was able to take advantage and pick up the win. After the match, WWE cameras caught up with Shawn Spears. Spears said he was disappointed after his loss because of Gacy. He also stated that Gacy was now on his radar. As he spoke, Gacy threw a chair from the rooftop and said he was returning it to Spears. And we do have a picture of this. This is him actually on top of the stadium when he threw the chair down to Spears. He was on top of the Performance Center, and I thought that was just a great gimmick from him as well. And this is him during the match. He comes out with the chair and gets on top of the announce table, starts swinging it around, the psychotic Joe Gacy like his character has been. And I think this guy has so much potential here in the WWE to be such a big star. I know a lot of people have compared him to the late, great Bray Wyatt, RIP, but he says he wants to take his own way into the WWE. He doesn't want to come in and be the replacement for Bray Wyatt. And I think he has the potential and has the ability to do this. He has taken hold of this great, psychotic, psycho character here on NXT, which is really fun because usually you see these guys are more dark, demonic type of guys, but he's more of like a happy, a sane asylum person that always has a smile on his face. He's always chilling in the back of promo shots, just peeking out from under benches. Like last night, he was on top of the Performance Center throwing a chair down to Shawn Spears, and I think this is great work from Joe Gacy to kind of come back and revamp his character to something that the NXT fans have really taken a hold of and loved. And I think once he, gets a few matches under his belt, I know he has quite a few right now, and really builds up his reputation within the WWE, I really do think we could see him cross over. I know a lot of people are, like I said, are expecting him to take over a Bray Wyatt type role, but I think you could even implement Joe Gacy kind of the way Shinsuke Nakamura is right now with his vignettes he's having before his matches, trying to get into his opponent's heads. I think this is what we'll see with Joe Gacy, kind of a Firefly Funhouse type of thing, I guess you could say, where he's trying to get into his opponent's head, and he just shows up from anywhere in the arena that they are right now, and I'm a really big fan of this guy. And what this is shown here from Joe Gacy and Shawn Spears is a new rivalry has kind of started here, and with Stand and Deliver being in Philadelphia, where Joe Gacy was raised, he did tweet out on Twitter, on X, what he wanted to do at Stand and Deliver. He did say, "Dear Ava," who is the mayor of NXT, or the manager, he says, "There are those who should say I should maybe have a match with Shawn Spears in Philadelphia. I mean, that's my city I grew up in. Even if it's just to kick off, I'd love to do this. You know how much I love the kickoff show." And this is just great from Joe Gacy here. Great work, kind of getting on Twitter and trying to find himself a match and setting it up last night on NXT. I think this really puts some hype towards Stand and Deliver here coming up very soon, and I think we will see a Shawn Spears and Joe Gacy rivalry start here very shortly, and it's really going to be a great rivalry to watch, because Shawn Spears obviously has such great in-ring ability, was working the indie circuits, and now has come to NXT, and I think it's just this is just going to be an amazing rivalry that kind of takes shape. We're going to see, Joe Gacy, the psychotic god, try to get into Shawn Spears' head, and it's really going to take a fun route here on NXT, and I'm really looking forward to it, because I'm really a really big believer in Joe Gacy, and I think he's going to take a hold of this psychotic type of character that he has right now and make it his own, not try to copy the late great Bray Wyatt like everybody is insisting that he already is. I think he's going to make it his own and try to make it a character that he can bring to Triple H and say, "Hey, I think we should do this in the WWE," and make, the WWE kind of take notice of what he's doing in the NXT and get him up on the main roster. But I want to hear from you guys down below in the comment section. Do you think Bron Breakker is the next big star in the WWE? Let me know down below. And what are your thoughts on Joe Gacy? I'm a really big fan of this guy as well. I think he's, a really bright spot of NXT right now that I just love watching every single week. Let me know down below. And if you enjoyed this video, make sure to go down below, hit that like button, and hit that subscribe button. Like I said, we're just at the beginning of this channel here. We're bringing you daily wrestling content, and we really appreciate if you're liking these videos, you're liking the content we're doing. Make sure to get down below and hit that subscribe button. And while you're down there, like I said, leave a comment. We are starting doing comment of the day here on the channel, where we will showcase one of your guys' comments from every video down below in one of the topics here at the end of the video. So let us know what you think about everything we talked about here today. Just let us know your wrestling hot takes, where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you down below in the comment section. But if you want to check out a video we did last night talking about Carmelo Hayes and Triple H and the ratings for Raw, it'll be popping up on your screen right now. But as always, I've been your host, KC. We'll catch you in the next one.